I want 7 kids. Well, at least that's what I thought. I thought I'd have a beautiful, big family, a handsome husband, and an amazing home.
Welcome to SA Twitter. Oh, wait, I don't want Ellen to hate me. Welcome to SA X. In this app, everyone has it figured out. Everyone is rich. Everyone comes from a two-parent household. And their parents are married. Everyone has a good credit score. Everyone has a great partner. Everyone is not a baby mama. Everyone is not a baby dad. Everyone has kids within marriage. Everyone has it all figured out. So there are a lot of tweets that circulate X, and this is not the tweet that had me thinking about making this, but it definitely triggered it. And you see it in how people respond to things that actually there's a big issue here. There's an issue of thinking that you are above everyone. And I want to talk a bit about that. When I saw the tweet the first time, I did not pay attention to it. I was not actually opening the video and listening to what was happening because I don't know, I just felt uninterested. But I watched the video, I actually liked the video. So the video is basically talking about how this lady, is narrating that she is a single mom, but she wishes that she made a different decision. And she details some of the things that she wished she would have done. And she does say that she does not regret having her daughter, but she thinks that if she looked at life a certain way, it would have turned out different. And she would actually have the time to build herself and go towards her dreams, which is very true. So that tweet, it caused some controversy, which I really don't understand or see why. I just quickly want to point out that this particular video was first made on TikTok. So some people who use X would take a video from TikTok and then bring it to X, and that is where the debates begin. Thing about Twitter, like I say, everyone is so perfect. Everyone is living a perfect life. And the single mother, I think, is one of the most targeted groups of people. And I really don't understand, given that when you reach 18 or 20 or even 25, especially when you are 25, these are the ages in which a lot of people actually do have kids. So for me, it's really baffling why it is a surprise every time we see someone with a kid. So there are two parts to it. The one group are the women who vow that they will first get married before they have kids. People always say that although you might get divorced, although the spouse might die, as long as you did it within the marriage, which is true. However, they also forget that when you do get a divorce, you are also shamed for that. You are shamed for leaving the marriage. Divorce is ultimately the woman's fault. So I feel like people do not see how misogyny works, because in either case you are going to get shamed for the decisions that you make regardless. And if your spouse dies, let me just say something. You are regarded a single mother regardless, right? And when you present yourself and you say, hey, I'm a single mother, people do not wait for you to tell your story to say that, oh yeah, this is what happened to me. They don't wait for you to explain yourself. You are in that category, and that is sadly what happens. So whenever you look at a woman and you judge her position for being a single mom, I want us to think about the fact that it can happen to you. And when you don't give other women grace, that is essentially the energy that you're sending out there, that you don't deserve the grace to, if or when something like this happens to you. The second group to speak, obviously, the incels, the misogynists. Guys, like, I don't know, like this lighting, oof, this lighting situation, I don't know. Incels seem to think that they have it all figured out, that they are living perfect lives, that everything that is happening to them, for them, every decision that they make is calculated, and thus they will never be in this and that position. They are so quick to judge everyone else who is in that position. And it makes me go, incels have this very weird obsession with finding the perfect girl. That is why they are currently dealing with the male loneliness epidemic. And while they are out there looking for a fantasy, we all know that in reality, the perfect girl does not exist. People are so quick to type things. You are sitting behind your screen and you can type anything, and anything that you say other people will believe. You're not a celebrity, you are not some kind of influencer. No one knows about your life, so that is the luxury that you have. The fact that you can narrate anything and anyone can believe it because they don't need to do a background check on you. Whereas if it is a celebrity or an influencer, then it is easy to get that information. But they are riding on the wave that they do not share the things that are happening in their lives. They do not share the discrepancies that are going on in their lives. And that is what bothers me most, because if you look at South Africa, the stats for people living in single parents households are very high. People who are unemployed, very high. So how is it that everyone is rich? People who are dealing with gambling and so forth, it's very high. So how is it that everyone has good credits? People who are commuting to workplaces and everywhere else using public transport, very high. So how is it that you are always in conversations about cars and what you would buy, what you wouldn't buy? Are you even in a position where you can actually buy those things?
The question for y'all today: why do people reject things that they never qualify for? What I mean is people like pretending that limitations is the preference. Because I noticed this with myself when I said, nah, I don't even want to be a doctor. Then I realized, like, I don't actually qualify to say that statement because I never even took math and physics in my life or life sciences. Oh no, I won't even play GTA 6 anyway. Bro, do you have a console that allows you to even play GTA 6? First show me that you can do something, but you choose not to. But don't tell me that you don't want certain things when you wouldn't even have them anyways. You can only reject things that you have access to. I want to go to Durban because I don't like Cape Town. Show me you can actually go to Cape Town, but you prefer not to. It's easy to say you're not materialistic when you don't have access to materials. Can't tell me that you wouldn't date Uncle Waffles or Sayin Bucci.
Would they date you though?
You don't like Sayin Bucci and Uncle Waffles? Show me who you have.
So I'm very perplexed about this whole perfection thing and the notion that you know better and therefore everyone should listen to you, and you have the gall to insult and shame other people for going through things, whereas you don't share what it is that is happening in your life, the complexities that you go through, and because of that you know that you will not get any backlash for the things that you say. People are mean, people are rude. The thing about this incel community, even if you do wait, there was a girl talking about it, talking about how like she waited for the right time to lay with a man, and then the incels blamed her for being now too old and no one will want her. So there is no winning in this game of inceliology. This is why I'm perplexed as to why ladies are trying so hard and fighting so hard to be better or be seen as better than the person who is now a single mother and has no husband. Yes, I understand that there are methods that sort of prevent you from going through certain things, but this assumption that you are in a better position because you are not like this, you are not in this predicament where you are now raising a kid on your own, it bites everyone in the ass. If you are not a single mother, great. Then they go to your body, they look at you, and then they say, oh, you're too fat. And if you're not fat, then great, they go to something else. They sort of attack the fact that you only have a matric, you don't have the education. when it's like always a goalpost shift. So for you to deem yourself the price is useless because ultimately there is no pleasing them. And I said this in the video before, but I really feel like we really need to think about our positioning whenever we make ourselves better than the next woman in this game of competing against the misogyny scale. So what I'm getting at is that people are so uppity and for no reason. In Zulu, we call it impagamo, ukuphakama, ukuphakamela abantu, where you just feel like, yeah, I wouldn't have done this, da 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 da. And I do understand. I do that too. I do that too. Especially when it comes to the pretty girls dating the pookies or like the guys that are dusty or whatnot. I don't understand that. Like the really pretty industry girls like the Hailey Bailey's, Nicki Minaj. I've done a video about this, so I know that I do it too. But first of all, I do not insult them. I don't insult anyone. This whole thing where you call people HOEs, guys, what is that about? Where did you learn that language? The second thing is that it comes from a place of goodness. Whenever I address it, it comes from love. It comes from really trying to understand why you don't deem yourself worthy enough to be with a man who shows up, decent man in the community and society, even if it is Tulani from across the street and he sells vegetables. Rather pick that. Nicki Minaj, rather pick that than a Kenneth Petty. I'm just perplexed. Like, where did we get this thing where we are so quick to judge someone else? And we know that, oh, yeah, I don't get to tell my story. I don't get to tell you that I would never date Kim Kardashian, though the roof in my home is like this. It's falling like this. They will shame someone for not having enough money to buy a polo, but they're taking taxis. They will shame baddies for getting their paper however way or like being with a rich guy or whatnot, but they're collecting social grants. It is strange when you are also struggling, but you don't get to share your struggles. You don't get to tell us all the things that you need to go through in order to simply live. You are in possession of this great power called privacy. And although Twitter has always been an app of interaction and people going back and forth about this and that, I feel like it has gotten worse. I don't know what started it, especially when it comes to the way that we interact with each other. We are so quick to swear at each other, to insult each other, to go for each other's looks. And I'm not talking about me, I'm just talking about the collective, where you don't even read. Like, there is a literature problem and comprehension problem on Twitter, clearly, because it's a reflection of the fact that people are not reading books anymore or are listening to things and comprehending what it is that is happening. Because if I say something and it makes sense, now you want to say that ngiyanya. Like, where did you learn that, and why is it okay to communicate like that with a person? I'm just saying that some of us are passing mirrors. Some of us are not looking in the mirror and saying that I'm not perfect too, or I'm going through this, so let someone go through their own life journey. Why are we so quick to throw stones when we ourselves stay in glass houses? And I'm not saying that everything should not be criticized, but the way we criticize, we need to be mindful of how we do it and how it would make someone else feel. Because if it were to be done to us, it's not a good feeling, right? And The other thing that I'm seeing now, whenever you call it out, now these guys are so quick to mute you, to do all these things and make it seem like they have the last word. But I really feel like people do not want to own up to the fact that they are terrible people sometimes. They like the fact that they can inflict whatever emotion in you. They like the fact that they can bring pain to you. But if you call it out, if you say that, hey, this thing is wrong, then now it hurts them. People don't like to hear these things about themselves, yet they continue to be terrorists in the X streets. I need to do a video on how X has changed and how it's not what it was when it was Twitter. Like, it is drastically different. However, with this video, I just wanted to talk about Perfection Olympics because it is so annoying. We know where you live, Tuli. We know what your family is going through. We know the situation that you're in, Tabang. So please stop being weird when you get on Twitter and act like, yeah, you are just this perfect person. You know you have 5 different baby mamas. So I think it is time that we address this and really take it seriously. And it doesn't help that although Ellen still kept the report option, I feel like his team does not really review what is happening on Twitter, or they don't care. I don't know if it's because they don't care or they do not take enough time to review all the complaints that we lodge, right? But I don't know. Like, what is the solution here? Do we just all collectively leave the app? Maybe that might help. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and then also subscribe to my channel. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.